Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am here with another video today. I'm going to talk about how I knew I was pregnant, how I found out I was pregnant, and then I might even tie in how we told our parents. So I have everything written down on my phone, so if you see me looking down, and that's why. Okay, so on my last video I told you guys that I was pregnant and the letrozole did in fact work. Technically I'm gonna say this is really our first, it was our first cycle of trying. I took the medicine in January. We did not follow the instructions at all, and so I'm not gonna really count January. February came, took the medication, the winter storm happened, we wasn't able to have planned intercourse the way we were supposed to, so I had honestly got to a place where I was just like, you know what, it didn't happen this month, but next month we're gonna do it again and we're gonna get pregnant. So, in a way, I was feeling some things differently. I felt like I had signs that I was pregnant. However, I didn't want to get my hopes up. So, leading into this cycle, I did not do any ovulation tests. I did not track my ovulation. I basically just followed the instructions from my doctor as best as we could. So, the instructions were to take the letrozole for 5 days, and then from day 10 to day 20 we were supposed to have sex every other day, or have intercourse. I don't know if I can say SEX on YouTube, but we were supposed to do planned intercourse every other day. Being that the winter storm happened, my brother was at our house, we did not have planned intercourse every other day, so I was a little nervous, and I just didn't think it was gonna work. However, it was a couple of days. Okay, this was during the winter storm. So the first day that we were supposed to start was Friday. Friday started the weekend of Valentine's Day. So we did it Friday. I believe we did it Sunday. And then the winter storm happened Monday. And they were supposed to do it Tuesday. I don't think we did it Tuesday. So we weren't doing it. But that Wednesday, I do remember having this cramps, like it was these strong, it was just like sharp pains. It was cramp like feelings that I was having, and it was a little odd, but I didn't think anything of it. Okay, so then I don't know how long after, I just remember one day going to the restroom, and when I wiped, it looked like I saw a little bit of blood. It was like very, very light. It was a little pink on the tissue. However, I had on orange underwear that day, so I was just like, oh, this isn't anything. This is just my, you know, probably the dye for my underwear or something. I was just kind of, I don't know if I was trying to downplay it or not to get my hopes up, but I was like, this isn't anything. So after that, I want to say the following week, my mother-in-law, we went to dinner for her birthday. So that same weekend, we also, the same day we went to dinner for my mother-in-law, we also went house hunting. And the last video that I posted was of us house hunting. So this was the same day, okay? And that was the weekend that I found out that I was pregnant. So, that day we went house hunting. We went to an open house. We saw that open house. We came home. I was hungry, so I ate 3 tacos. As I was making the tacos, my little brother called me. Excuse me. He said that he got off of work early. He asked me if I could pick him up. I was like, okay, let me eat my tacos first and I'll come. So I ate the 3 tacos. I was still hungry. So I went to pick him up. Then we went to Chick-fil-A. And then I knew that I had to get back home because I had to get ready for dinner with my in-laws. So I just got me a kid's meal. And I ate the kids' meal. And I was still hungry. But by the time I finished eating, it was time for me to get dressed so that we can leave. So we're on our way to dinner. And I just remember being hungry, like my head was starting to hurt. So I took a little nap in the car. And we got to the restaurant. They had bread on the table. Now, mind you, I have been on my fitness journey, so I have not been eating bread at all. I had 3 pieces of bread. I had a Caesar salad. Me and my sister-in-law shared this really, really, really big crab cake. Then for dinner, we had steak. We had lobster mac and cheese. We had fried asparagus. We had potatoes. And I just remember eating and I was not full. And everybody else had finished eating. They were picking up their plates and they were ordering dessert. And I'm still eating, like telling the waiter, like, don't touch my plate. I'm not done yet. And so by the time we left, I remember being in the car and I'm like, you know what? I'm not even full. My mouth was just tired of chewing. So that was the first day, which was a little bit odd to me. The second day, the next day actually, was the day before my mother-in-law's birthday. So she wanted to do a little photo shoot. She asked my husband to take the pictures and me to do her makeup. So we went over to their house. As I was doing her makeup, I had my husband go and get me some fried fish and rice and fries. And so we went to the park to take the pictures. I was eating my food that he went to get me while we were there. We were at the park maybe all of 30 minutes. So my father-in-law was at home cooking. He had made some type of chicken. He made some salmon that had like lobster and crab on top. He made something else, I can't remember. So I ate the fish that I had. Then I had the fish that he made. I had the chicken that he made. I had dirty rice. So after we ate, then we went home. On the way home, I was like, I'm still hungry. And my husband looked at me and he was like, are you sure you're not pregnant? Have you taken a pregnancy test? I was like, I mean, it's too early for me to test. I wouldn't know right now. And so this was February the 28th. And we were supposed to have sex. I believe it was starting on the 12th. Actually, I can tell you exactly when it was because I have a period tracker app, and I also have it to where I put my intercourse in. So yes, we were supposed to have sex that Friday, which was the 12th. Okay, so it wasn't even 2 weeks where we are on this day. So we went, we got back home and I had an essay to write. So I was like, you know what, I actually have to pee. I had a test at home, so I was like, you know what, let me just take the test. So I took the test. I wasn't even, like, I hadn't tested at all. I told you, I had told myself this time, like, I wasn't gonna stress about it. I wasn't going to put a lot of energy into it. If it was gonna happen, it was gonna happen. I had already accepted that it didn't happen this month and we'll just try again next month. So I took the test, I wrapped it up, I sat it next to my computer with me But my husband and I started having like a conversation in the kitchen, and we're talking and stuff. And then I realized like, oh my God, I have like an hour and a half left to finish my essay. So I completely forgot about the test. I go back to the computer, and it's like literally right there in front of the keyboard. And I look at it, and I'm like, oh! And my husband was like, what happened? What happened? What happened? And I'm just standing there with my mouth open. And he's like, what? Why are you being so dramatic? He's like, oh my God, you're so dramatic. And I was like, so I took him the test, and I'm holding it, and I'm like, and then he's looking at it, he was like, what? Like, oh. And so we're like laughing, and we're hugging, and we're kissing. And so, yeah, that's how we found out that we were pregnant. So I didn't get to surprise him, because we kind of were both surprised at the same time. And prior to us getting pregnant, we had already said that we were not going to tell anyone until after the first trimester. That's the decision that we had made, especially after having loss. So we had decided we weren't going to tell anyone. But for some reason, this just felt different. You know, when this year started, I fasted. I did the Daniel fast, and I fasted for my family. I fasted for our home. Like, there was a lot of things that I have been praying and fasting about. And I had said, you know, I don't think that God will bring us here again for us not to win and for us not to make it and come out on the other side. And so that's kind of the way that I've approached this whole pregnancy. I've just been very prayerful, and my prayer has been that if it's not for me, this is just this year period in regards to anything, if it's not for me, give me the peace to accept it and to move on. And so I wanted to call my best friend. I called her immediately, and I told her, and then we told our parents like a week later. We had ordered them little gifts, and we went and we told them. So I will insert those videos in this video. Or should I make it separate? I'll think about it. But let me tell you some of the symptoms that I had and how I knew I was pregnant before I actually took a test. So, I was eating. Was I say eating a lot? When I say eating a lot, I was eating a lot. Yeah, I'm not gonna even sugar. I was eating a lot. Okay, I just told you about what happened at the restaurant and when we took pictures for my mother-in-law. So I was eating a lot. I had bad gas. Honestly, throughout the whole pregnancy, I've had pretty bad gas. The first trimester was the worst. Now, it depends on the day, but it's not nearly as bad as it was during my first trimester. I told you about the implantation bleeding that I saw. I also had vivid dreams. It was like I would have crazy dreams, but it was like I could remember. It was just crazy dreams that felt so real that I would have. And I have watched a couple videos of how people knew they were pregnant before, and a lot of people said that they have very vivid dreams during pregnancy. I had now fatigue. I was so tired, especially during the first trimester. I feel like now that I'm in my second trimester, some of my energy has come back, but I'm still tired. It's not even nearly as much as I thought it would be. I'm tired. Not as tired, but tired nonetheless. Cravings. Okay. So during the time that I didn't know that I was pregnant, so my dad is Nigerian. If you guys don't know, I am half Nigerian. And so I grew up eating fufu and stew and rice and, you know, okra soup or whatever. And so as an adult, I don't eat it nearly as much. Okay, for the most part, I'll eat stew and rice a lot. Before we got married, I actually did teach my husband how to make it because he loves it just as much as I do. So we eat that regularly. But fufu, I do not eat a lot. I may eat it a few times a year. And when I say I crave fufu every single day, and I don't even know why it didn't click to me then. I craved it every day. So we made stew. I would eat my stew with fufu. I would go to junior restaurants and get, you know, okra soup or whatever, and I was just eating it every single day. And for some reason, that didn't alarm me. Another thing that I craved a lot during my first trimester was baked potatoes, loaded baked potatoes, and I wanted it with pickles and jalapenos. I like the whole jalapeno so I can bite it and pour the juice into the potato and eat it with pickles. So that was another thing. Also, my first trimester, I craved sausage sandwiches. Like, I remember, I told you that I ate a lot, but it was like every night I would wake up at like midnight or almost midnight hungry. I would try to ignore it, and then finally by 12:30 I would get up, make me a sausage sandwich and some chips, and then I could go back to sleep. I also had to pee a lot. I would wake up maybe 2 or 3 times in the middle of the night to use the restroom. Now that I'm in my second trimester, I don't pee as much during the nighttime. For the most part, I wake up once in the middle of the night to go and use the restroom. But it was like 2 or 3 times that I was waking up to go and pee. And that's really it. So that's how I knew that I was pregnant. Like I said, I feel like we were excited. I want to do another video talking about pregnancy after loss, because the way I approached this pregnancy, it was completely different. To be quite honest, I feel like I was a little detached in the beginning. So when I found out, I think I was like 4 weeks or 5 weeks when I found out that I was pregnant. And I didn't have my doctor's appointment until about 8 or 9 weeks. So that time was very strange for me. So I had a miscarriage previously. I didn't find out that I was pregnant until about 6 weeks or 7 weeks, and the baby's heartbeat stopped at 8.5 weeks. I was still pregnant, carrying the baby, experiencing all of my symptoms, and I had no idea that the baby had no heartbeat. So I was very nervous. A friend of mine, she would call me every single day, and we would pray over the baby, over the development and everything every day. And so when I went to the doctor for the first time and we had an ultrasound and I heard the heartbeat, it was like I can exhale. Shortly after that, almost going into my second trimester, I got a fetal Doppler. My stepmom got it for me, and I was able to check the heartbeat at home, and that kind of gave me peace of mind because I was doing that every single day. But yes, that is how I knew that I was pregnant before taking the pregnancy test. That is how I found out I was pregnant. That is how I told my husband. That's how we found out together. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, please, 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 please stop what you're doing. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Give this video a thumbs up. Leave me a comment and let me know if you experienced any of these symptoms during your 2-week wait or during your first trimester. And I will see you in the next video.